Ladies and gentlemen and ladies, boys and girls, germs and viri of all types and sizes, it is I, your bearded wolf god Lobo. Now, I would like to talk to you about teamwork because some people don't seem to believe in it. They just run around maps killing willy-nilly. Which, if you're trying to run a penance, that requires you to do a mission in Damnation Auric, Damnation, or run a successive number of Havocs without getting knocked down or obliterated, makes it hard to do those penances. This is not a single player FPS, it's a team play game. Play as a team. Let's take the Mortis Trials. There are two maps. The first map, you load in and you spawn in a section not unlike this hallway that is a walkway between two iron wrought fences. Now, the best way to do this map is to stay in the spawn point. Yes, it gives you less leeway to move. When you get rushed by a bunch of the elites. But if you're running the right mix, it doesn't really matter. And if you stay together and working as a team, it doesn't matter fuck all. Let's take the last mission I played on that map. My team, for the most part, decided, the rest of them tried to stay together instead of, and were waltzing all over the map. I tried to stay in that one spot and aggro enemies coming from that end of the map to come after me so I could kill them and take some of the pressure off. And once I got it, and once I got the indulgence that lets you get 10 brain bursts for every brain burst kill you do, I was obliterating things across the map and the hordes they were fighting on the other side of the map while they were chasing the skull. The way Mortis works is it's 12 waves. If you haven't played it yet, or you've only or if you have played it a couple of times and still don't grok it, it is 12 waves of hordes of enemies. 12 successive waves. On waves 3, 6, and 9, you have to either follow the skull on the first map or go to the corruption and destroy the corruption on the second map. At the end of those rounds, you get supply crates that drop ammo crates, med kits, ammo packs, and grenades. Now, on the very first map, like I said, you enter in a hall not unlike this one. You stay there, you can obliterate anything, except for 3, 6, and 9. The second map, you start out similar, kind of sort of this way, except you're on a landing pad. You're at the bottom of an angled ramp, and you have to go up to activate. But if you look to your left or right, there's a hallway back and left that goes down a staircase into another section of the map, and then on the right there's a section of stairs that goes up, back down, and around. Now, on that map, on every other turn except for turns 3, 6, and 9, where you have to chase the corruption, if you stay in those two sections as a team, again, you obliterate all comers. Chargers make things interesting, but I have been by myself in those sections and on that first section on the first other map and obliterated by myself with a sword 5 of the Chargers, the muties, at once. at one time, one after the other. Because two would come at me, I'd kill one. Another two would come at me while I was dealing with the second one, and then I'd have to deal with another two, and then I had to deal with one more that decided to come to party, and I obliterated all 5 of them by myself while my team was on the other side of the map, just with my sword. Because that's actually the way you deal with those. Quickest way to kill them. Because Brain Pop takes 2 hits to kill those. Flame Sword will the flame attack. You can start to weaken them and then kill them in 2 sword strikes. But if you're doing just sword, it's 3 heavy strikes. I don't know. It's just I'm seeing too much lately of people going off completely on their own and then getting knocked and then getting swarmed. Oh no, come rescue me. Well, if you'd stayed with the team, you'd be fine. Am I an asshole for doing what I do and staying in those wings? No, because I'm contributing. Because with the brain burst, I have a distance attack. You add the indulgence to it, and I'm doing mass attacks from a distance. I mean, you get a nest. If you get several snipers, and I pop just one of them, it pops all the others, so long as they're within a certain range of it, of the first one. I also risk getting, like I said, that one section of the second map because there's a barrel there. One of the games I had today, I got blown off 4 times. 3 times by the barrel exploding, and once while dealing with a plague ogre by myself, and he stomped and sent me flying. You gotta love how that works. It's like, bitch, I don't want to fly. Certainly not that way. Now on regular maps, if you got a bunch of flamers and it blows you out of the way of the horde and the flamers, that's cool. But when it blows you off the map, not so much. So stay together, work as a team. If you have a good zealot with a flamer, and the Thunderhammer will eat pretty much anything you put it up against. It, it'll damn near insta kill even the monstrosities. It'll take them down quick at least. Ogren with a stubby, a twin stubby, because that puts out such a high rate of fire. It chews through their health bar. Add a combat stim to any of that, and it's just utter destruction. So try to stay together. And if you're new to the maps, when someone suggests, "Hey, if you come over here or here, you can funnel them and it's easier to deal with them," perhaps consider listening instead of running all over the map like a chicken with its head cut off. You take a little less damage that way, because that's what I was witnessing happening. I'd stay up in one of those sections dealing with those that came my way and popping from a distance, and they were taking massive damage because even though I suggested, "Hey, let's go up here or over here, we can funnel them that way and deal with them easier," they just wanted to do their own thing, to where they were in on that second map. They were in the that top central section where those 2 staircases are, but they were out front by the Medicaid. And when you're there or anywhere else in that section, the hordes and the elites come from everywhere. They can see you from every direction. And in the later hordes, that's a problem, because you're spawning snipers, you're spawning a bunch of flamers, you're spawning a bunch of trappers. Bombers. So especially in the later waves, it behooves you to go to one of those sections so they're easier to deal with and shoot through the hordes. It gives you less leeway to move, yes. But it also affords you a degree of control and protection you don't have if you're out in the middle of the map. And so, like I said, when you're dealing, especially with the later waves, and on Damnation, it's easier. It is better to stay in those sections and just whittle them down that way. For Ogren, even the kickback will eat them because it turns, you know, the lower the lower ranked hordes into mist. Literally turns them into a blood mist. There's nothing left. That is my suggestion. That, and to remember you're playing team play, so stay together as a team. I don't know. Maybe my trying to do the smart play and stay by myself up there, where I know I can funnel them and more easily control them, even in decent numbers, is me being an asshole. I don't know. I don't think so. When I'm trying to tell them, especially when I'm trying to say, hey, this is the smarter play. You're taking more damage than you have to. Now, if you've got a spawn of bombers or flamers, yeah, it might behoove you to move a little bit. So, an ogre or the crushers or the bulwarks, the big ogre and bulwarks and crushers. But just a thought. That's just the way I personally prefer to play it. If I've got a section I know is good, I prefer to do where I can funnel it and take less risk of high damage from the elites in the later waves, where I have more control. I prefer to stay in those sections because to me that's the intelligent thing to do instead of running all over the map. I don't know. Anyway, just food for thought.